had his column on. My big yahoos.
Yeah. So how did that go?
Well, actually, he kind of sensationalized my story a bit. But, writers do that. It's one of the things that people don't understand, that you have to be incredibly careful what you say to writers, because if they don't think it's exciting enough, they'll jazz it up, and sometimes it's irritating. I had, unfortunately, after being interviewed so many times by so many people across the country, I had quite a few times that I read the article and I went, wait a minute, I never said that. But, what can you do?
Now you're making me think of the president with the fake news media.
Well, I'm telling you, that's what I'm trying. I didn't want to go down that road, but trust me, even in my little position, as little as I was, I watched them. If they didn't think what I said was good enough, they swapped it up a little bit. And you know what? You're not supposed to do that to somebody. You used to irritate me even back then. It's like, you can't change it just because you didn't think what I said was exciting enough. That's called sensationalism.
Yeah. So now, when you were drag racing, did you ever get any advice from any other drivers out there? Like Dick LaHaye and all them. Did you ever ask for advice when you first started out dragging?
I did get a lot of advice. Don Prudhomme gave me a lot of advice. I have more respect for that man than just about anybody in the whole world. He helped me a lot. Eddie Hill gave me lots of advice. Gary Ormington was certainly always there for me. I had quite a few that did the best they could to try to guide me. And I don't think it so much ever gave me advice about driving the car. They gave me more advice about how to handle what was happening to me, as far as how to deal with the success and the whirlwind of activity and the people that were on the tour. It's a pretty tight-knit group of people, and they're like a family. And my mentor and the other lady named Carolyn Alley, who I just loved, they were with me a lot through everything that went on, and they guided me and helped me a lot. Linda Vaughn is just a living legend and a beautiful person, a beautiful soul, a beautiful lady, who was my friend from the start and a better friend you will never have.
Now, Lori, what would you consider to be some of the milestones of your drag racing career?
Oh, gosh. I'm sure my first win at Pomona. Well, when I got Rookie of the Year in my Big Color Dragster in 1985 was really the first one. And then, getting John Ranger Katie's as our major sponsor was a big milestone. Winning 4 national events in 1990 and finishing the season 4th overall was a huge milestone. Running the first 4-second pass at Denver at the Mile Nationals. Being in the 4-second club, I was, one of the people that was in the Crater 4-second club. That was a big honor. There are lots of them. I'm just truly, truly blessed. I finished in the top 10 every year that I competed in Top Fuel. I was in the Big Bud Shootout every year that they had it. We didn't miss much. And also, it was really great being nominated for Female Athlete of the Year by the Women's Sports Foundation.
So how many events would you usually run a year?
I think I ran about 30, 32. And then we did some match races here and there, everywhere. And then as I say, once I quit driving, my husband was a drag racer. He raced post stock, and he owned Houston Raceway Park. So once, we were together and I was married to him, I was still around everyone drag racing for years and years and years. He didn't die. My husband died of lung cancer in 2006. And we had a little girl in 2000. Her name is Montgomery Jett, and she was a sophomore at LSU now.
So does she like drag racing?
She does. She likes it a lot.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think she really wanted to drive race cars, but she does watch it. She's been around the races a lot, and she enjoys it. How could she not? Both of her parents do it.
Are you ready for some fun questions here?
Yes, hit me.
So, what other hobbies do you have?
I bitch a lot.
Well, besides bitching a lot.
I'm very opinionated. I drag my soapbox out every chance I get. I get up on it, and I tell everybody what I think they should and shouldn't be doing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm very opinionated about my politics and the way I believe that things should be, and I love my country, and I love God, and I love the United States of America, and I don't like it if you run it down. You know, my hobbies really, turned out for the last 18 years to be my daughter. And I still love to fish, and, I love to write, and I love to read, and I love to cook. Well, I don't know beyond that if I have any hobbies.
Well, I'm glad you love your country, because everyone should love this country. If you don't love this country, get the hell out of here.
That's what I purpose sing. My Merle Haggard song. He says, if you don't like it, leave it. Let the song that I'm singing be a warning. If you're running down my country horse, you're walking on the fighting side of me.
Yeah, I saw that on your Facebook stat about the Merle Haggard.
So, I love my president, and I love my country, and I think if you don't like it, then you can find someplace else to live, but don't stay here and tell us that we're wrong. And don't call me a racist because I voted for a president. That's just flat out wrong. And these people who think that calling people Nazis is okay need to get down on their knees and ask every Jew in the world to forgive them because they're wrong. If they're that ignorant, they don't know what history is, and they don't know what happened to the Jewish race in World War II in the concentration camps, and they shouldn't be allowed to speak in public.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, I can drag my soapbox at it any time.
Yeah, those four ladies, the squad, we need to get rid of them.
I'm hoping that they will eliminate themselves. I don't know if you've read their polls, but they poll very, very low. AOC is like with a 22% approval rating in her own district. So they won't get elected. The thing that bothers me the most is that I really think that they're plants by George Soros and by, other countries and people that are intent in tearing this country down. And the damage they're doing is in the rhetoric that they're spreading, the false narrative. And I hope that I'm right in thinking that most people are smarter than we give them credit for, and they can see what you and I see, and they know that it's all wrong. But then you have those people that are easy to sway and easy to influence, and I know they have their beliefs, and they're entitled to their beliefs. They're entitled to say them. But it's funny how those people want to be able to say anything they want to, but they want to tell us that we can't do the same thing. I don't understand that.
Yep. Well, the good news is, with all these other candidates running for 2020, Trump's going to have no problem getting back in there again.
Oh, I don't think he'll have any trouble at all. First of all, they don't even have a candidate that can complete the Senate. I think I saw on Fox News that, on the day of when people were chanting at his rally, send her back, which, by the way, they can say that all day long if they want to. They're not inciting violence, and then done action. You cannot accuse people of committing crimes with words. Words don't matter, and we can say whatever we want to. It's not an action to say something. But anyway, the word racist was said 2,300 times on MSNBC and CNN. Do you know how ridiculous that is?
Yeah.
It's just all a way to distract and dissuade and try to make people think that if you're not on their team, you're an evil, racist, person-hating, Nazi. And that's just so wrong.
Yep. Okay, we did our political ranting now.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay. Now, the good thing about drag racing is everybody stands for the national anthem.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we always play Lee Greenwood's, what is the song? Proud to be an American, well, at least I know I'm free. I heard that song every Sunday of my life for years because they played it right before we started the first pair. That's why we hear, proud to be an American, well, at least I know I'm free. And then they do that little Hanson will spin them over and boom, they start up. That's the excitement of that moment will run through my veins for the rest of my life.
All right, now back to the fun questions here. When you were doing Top Fuel dragster driving, was there a greatest competitor for you out of all these dragster drivers out there?
Gary Orsby and Joe Amato were the two people that were the hardest for me to beat. But I did beat them both. I beat Joe Amato in the final twice, so I got over that. But there were no easy competitors. They were all hard. They were all in their game. I didn't have any weak passes or any weak people. I took every one of them as seriously as I could. I had to.
Now, if you were able to do time traveling and go backwards in time, would you have done anything differently with your Top Fuel dragster career?
No, not a thing. I made lots of mistakes and I did lots of stupid things, but I learned from them. And again, it made me the person that I am, and I like who I am, and the things that I learned are knowledge, and no one can ever take that away from me. People can take everything material that you have. They can take your house, they can take your car, they can take all your things, but they can't take away who you are. And who you are is all that really matters.
That's right. Okay, now here's an easy question for you, Lori. What's your favorite food to eat?
My favorite what?
Favorite food.
Favorite food? Well, I love Mexican food being from South Texas, but I'm going to have to say medium rare ribeye.
All right, what's your favorite beverage?
Big Red. You know what that is? Most people don't.
No, I was about to ask you, what is Big Red?
Well, it's Bruce Springsteen is his favorite drink too. Big Red is a soda that was created in Waco, Texas, and they still make it. And it tastes like bubble gum, and it's sweet, and it's carbonated, and I just love it.
I remember the gum called Big Red.
Well, it's not hot. It's not hot and spicy like that, but it's a Big Red. You should try it sometime. It's great.
All right, now, what's your favorite movie of all time?
A River Runs Through It.
That Robert Redford?
No, it's Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt, yeah.
It's called A River Runs Through It, and it's about a minister and his two sons, and they go fly fishing on the big top. They're from is it Wyoming? No. Well, anyway, you should watch it. It's an amazing show.
All right, now, when you were growing up as a kid, did you have a favorite cartoon, Lori?
A favorite what?
Cartoon.
Yes. I loved Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost was my favorite. I watched it every Saturday morning.
All right, now, what's your favorite kind of music to listen to?
I'm a country music fan. Tried and true. Robert Earl Keen and Charlie Robinson are my favorites. They're both Texas singers, so most people haven't heard of them either. It's Texas music. I love Texas music.
Now, do you listen to the newer country or the old school country?
Most of the old school stuff.
Yeah, the newer stuff's kind of popish, some of it.
It is kind of popish. No, it's even kind of rapish.
Yes, that too. Now, well, okay, let me ask you, this should be a good one. Can you think of one most embarrassing moment you had when you're out on the track on a race day?
Let me think. I'm sure there are plenty. I'm just thinking what was one of the most embarrassing things.
I'm sure you had a few of them, but there's got to be one that stands out the most.
I'm trying to think. Give me a second.
Like some people say they do a burnout and the car dies out or whatever. They didn't have enough fuel in the car. And
Well, I'm actually probably when we were in Phoenix, and we were racing Robert Reel in the first round, and there was no way he was going to beat us. In fact, I'll never forget my father saying, "Yeah, we went to Phoenix and Robert Reel, but Robert Reel beat us racing Super Comp because he ran like an 890." But it was the only time. Apparently, somebody put the reverser in wrong, and I could not get my car in reverse after the burnout. It wouldn't go. So I had to idle off the track and lose that round because I couldn't back up from my burnout. And he ran at 890.
So what was the problem that it wouldn't reverse?
Whoever put the reverser in didn't do something right. And I couldn't get the car to go in reverse. And it was the only time that ever happened to me in my career.
So did you get it fixed for the next round?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a simple, stupid mistake, but it was one that couldn't be fixed right there. Another time, the leakage fell off of the barrel valve. And I think that was in Phoenix. Phoenix must be a bad place for me. And we went to the starting line, and my crew chief, Larry Meyer, always kept some, like, 300 mile an hour tape on his pants. And the linkage fell apart, and he tried to tape it together, but as soon as I messed with it all at the starting line, it ripped it apart, and we didn't go anywhere. I don't think the finish line again that time, too. And actually, I just remember what the most embarrassing moment of my racing career was. Chris Eckert was my crew chief, and we were in Canada. We were up in San Air, and in St. Pete, and we needed new brakes. And they were real expensive, and my daddy decided that he wasn't going to invest in new brakes. And they were really wearing thin, and Chris had told my daddy, he said, "We've got to put new brakes in this car." And I went to the starting line, and I lit the first bulb, and I was racing with the first bulb, and I put my